Laura. You are the fine millionaire. And she has 2 sisters. Why are you looking shocked? You're a cop.
Listen, guys, listen. In my entire life, I have heard different sayings, that relate with trying to get rich quick. Yes, I have heard of fake it until you make it. I have heard of get rich quick or die trying. But in all of these things I have heard, I have never ever heard of this one. Get rich or lie trying. Not die, but lie trying. Guys, for the first time in my entire life, I heard it over the weekend on a show on Netflix, $1 Million Secret. It's a reality TV game show on Netflix. Guys, I watched that show in all of its 8 episodes. I watched it and oh my goodness, I almost went crazy. This show is amazing. It is fantastic. And listen, on this video, I'm going to take our time to give you a proper analysis, a proper review, all of its 8 episodes. And guys, listen, if you're yet to watch it, after watching this review, go ahead and check it out on Netflix because trust me, it's a show of a lifetime. You totally cannot miss out on this one, all right? But if you have watched it already, please go ahead. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, this video will not be complete without me giving a proper shout out to an amazing human that actually recommended the show to me. And I am speaking of none other than Lowambo. Lowambo is one of us. She's a longtime member of this channel. And oh my goodness, she recommended the show to me, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. And I got into the show over the weekend and oh my God, I just could not stop watching. Yes. And so thank you so much, Lowambo. I cannot wait to call you so that we can actually discuss it, in our own private space, yes. But for now, we're going to get into the details of the $1 Million Secret. And in a way, we're going to, compare it to Big Brother Naija because, guys, I just could not help comparing the show to the Big Brother Naija show, right? So we're definitely going to do a bit of comparison, all right? And yeah, all of that said, we're going to dive right into it. But again, before we get into it, you're all specially welcome to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. And I am the girl with the T. Yes. Guys, if you are a returning viewer, returning subscriber, thank you so much for choosing to tune in again, for coming back. You are all the realest MVPs. But if you are new here, if this is your first time coming across my video, my channel, my content, thank you so much for taking our time to stop. Yes, but please do not hesitate to subscribe. Make sure you do that. Also, turn on your post notification bell so that you do not miss out on any of my uploads, all right? Now, all of that said, let's just dive right into the details of the $1 Million Secret. All right, let's get into it. So as I've mentioned before, the $1 Million Secret is a reality TV game show that is set to make 1 out of 12 players a millionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, $1 million for one person out of 12 players. And guys, it was no easy feat at all. Yeah. Now, just like every other reality TV shows, 12 players were put together in a mansion called the Stag, where they are to play the game of wits, the game of lies, the game of betrayal, the game of manipulation, the game of deceit, the game of influence, the game of persuasion, and so on and so forth. In other words, the most dishonest and disloyal way that anybody can play any game to manipulate the other players all to their own favor, and to also gain more advantage in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what this $1 million secret game show is all about. And it was all about that to the T, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we get into the rest, let's look at the concept of the show, guys. I had to take our time, to put together some things because it was just a lot. And I said, nah, there's no way I'm coming here to make this video without, giving you guys a comprehensive analysis. All right. So let's begin with 12 players, $1 million. I mentioned that already. Now, it was quite interesting to me personally because as one who analyzes the Big Brother Naija show, just as much as I analyze other reality TV shows, the elimination process was quite different, right? Now, for the sake of those of you that are actually lovers of the Big Brother reality TV show, especially the Big Brother Naija franchise, we're all familiar with the fact that housemates are voted out by the public, right? So it was quite fascinating to me watching the $1 million secret show and seeing that the players, the contestants, they got to eliminate one another by virtue of their votes and also by virtue of their own power of influence and, persuasion, to see how you can turn others against others. And more importantly, to redirect attention from yourself to other people. Remove yourself from being a suspect into making other people the suspect of being a millionaire. All right. Now, still on the concept of the show started with $1 million, $1 million put in a box that belongs to one of the contestants. And so the rest of the contestant will have to figure it out, that which one of them is actually lying about being a millionaire. Now, the person that has the $1 million, on the other hand, in other words, the millionaire will now have to play the game in a way that will take away every form of attention from themselves, in other words, also convince other people that they are not the millionaire. They are not the one that actually has the money. Because of course, what would you expect? Everybody will say, no, the money is not with me. Oh my God, I wish I had that kind of money in my box, but then it's all a ploy to get people or anybody at all to talk that, oh, my bad, I'm the one that actually has the money in my box. Yes. Now, the millionaire is not immune at all to the game. Yes. As a matter of fact, the way the game goes, whoever has the money in their box, it's a season of anxiety for them. It's a season of panic attacks for them. It's a season of fear. It's a season of fretting. It's a season of them having cold feet. Because if the millionaire is discovered by the other players, ladies and gentlemen, that millionaire could automatically be voted out. And I deliberately use the word could. Now, according to the rules of the game, the millionaire should be voted out. But remember, it's a game at the end of the day. And there's something called strategy. Yes. Now, strategy in the sense that these players are very smart. Each and every single one of them are very smart. And so they get to have conversations and ask themselves, okay, is the millionaire actually a threat to the game? Is the millionaire a dangerous player or not? Where do we stand if we eliminate the millionaire, or if we keep the millionaire and actually eliminate the most strategic or the most dangerous player in the game? So conversations like these are had, and there is also the point of who is the best liar in the house, because the best liar automatically turns out to be the most dangerous player in the game. So ladies and gentlemen, the dynamics of the game is quite interesting, but we're going to get to the dynamics very soon. But first, we're still looking at the entire concept of the show itself. Now, as I was saying, being the millionaire, although has its disadvantages, but it's not entirely a bad position to hold. in the stack. That's the mansion. Yes, it definitely comes with some special privileges. Yeah, and one of such is called the Q shot. Yes, the Q shot elimination. Now remember, elimination is carried out by all the players. Yes, all the players vote, right? And their votes definitely count. But sometimes their vote do not count by virtue of these special privileges possessed by the millionaire. That is the person holding the cash at that point in time in that particular round. All right. So the kill shot is an advantage earned by the millionaire if they execute perfectly and like complete what they call it, let me see now, agenda. Yes, that's it. If they complete and execute perfectly their agenda given to them by the host. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that host, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with that host, Peter. Oh my god, I can't pronounce his surname, but oh my god, I love that man to bits. Yes. Anyways, if the millionaire perfectly completes and executes their agenda given to them at the point where the money was put in their box for a particular round, they earn some privileges, and that is the Q shot. The Q shot means that during elimination, they get the privilege to be exempt from elimination, or they are able to eliminate at least one or two other players. But the thing about these privileges is it changes, right? It changes. One privilege in one particular round is not the same. As a matter of fact, the stakes keeps getting higher and higher and higher. And ladies and gentlemen, it is insane. Now, still on the concept of the show, I just mentioned agenda. Yes, the agenda can also be seen as a task, like a special secret task, which the millionaire has to execute and complete before a certain time. Yes, because during the day, the players have task or call it activities that they participate in, and when they win those activities, because they're usually shared into pairs or groups, the group that won or the pair that won will have the privilege of going into the trophy room, right? So the trophy room is another concept of the entire show where the winning team get to pick a representative from out of their group or out of the pair, to receive a secret clue, which that representative has the privilege or the option to either share with the whole house or keep to themselves to enhance their game, or for the benefit of the whole house to enhance their game in their hunt for searching for the millionaire of that particular round. So guys, it gets crazier. It gets crazier. That is not all. There is also something called odd behavior. It's more like in a game show, they give you clues on what to look out for. So odd behavior is the one thing that the host keeps on reminding the players of, that listen, to catch the millionaire, you need to always look out for odd behaviors, right? So it's more like the person that is the liar or the thief amongst a particular group of persons. If you watch them very well, their body language changes from time to time. They probably look uncomfortable, or they're probably overly confident. If they used to be very quiet, automatically become the loudest in the room. If they used to laugh with ease, automatically they begin to laugh nervously. So look at all of these body language changes, mannerism changes, their mood swings, because they're always very nervous and uncomfortable, and they fidget. And even the most confident of them all, ladies and gentlemen, they actually lose their poise. They lose their steez. Once the money is in their box and they are the millionaire for that particular round, so it gets crazier like that. So that is the entire concept of the show, which I totally love because it is something different, very refreshing to see, and it's also very interesting to watch, or let me call it fascinating, to watch human behavior as they try to navigate their way around the game, as they try to observe, listen to their intuition, and try to figure out which amongst them is the best liar of them all. So we've said a lot about the concept of the show, but I assure you, this video will not be complete without us getting to meet the amazing, fantastic individuals that put themselves out there on Netflix to show us how best they can lie to win $1 million. And I'm talking about none other than the 12 geniuses called players. Yeah, that actually participated on this, should I call it a social experiment? Or should we just stick to a game show? Yeah, whichever. Yeah. But anyways, let's meet the players, all right? So we're going to first start with their names and what they do. And then I'm going to tell you how I rated them for this entire show. Yeah. So let's begin with Sydney. Ladies and gentlemen, when you talk about beauty with brains, beauty with a very strong intuition, beauty with a strong resolve, we're talking about Sydney. Sydney is stunning. She's not just beautiful, she's stunning. She is like a gazelle. When she walks, oh my goodness, her neck, her hair, lovely, stunning, amazing. But she is fierce, and I love her for it. Yes. Now, the only thing that actually really spoiled her game, because she played a very, very fantastic game. Her game was really strong. Her game was daring. She put herself out there a lot, regardless of the backlash, regardless of the targets that she was attracting to herself. Yeah. Now, but what really spoiled her game was the fact that she did not recognize that being beautiful alone was already a threat. Yes, being beautiful alone was already a threat. Looking like a model was already a threat. Yes. And then choosing to tell her fellow players that she works in bottle services in the club and could not mention or name even one club in the location that she claimed to be working. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just the first killer. That was the first spoiler for her game. Yes. And also, of course, as I mentioned, really putting herself out there. Yeah. On this show, you put yourself out there, you're attracting a lot of suspicion, you're attracting a lot of targets, and she definitely got a lot of targets. But ladies and gentlemen, if I tell you this, guys, you think I'm joking, but I'm actually serious. I was really gunning for Sydney to win because I love people who are daring, people who are audacious, and she gave me all of that, right? And she thinks she's very perceptive. Oh my goodness, I loved Sydney. I still love her anyways. Now, there was also Cara. Cara won the show. I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys too much spoilers, especially for those of you that are yet to watch it. I am really sorry. I cannot help myself. But yes, Cara won the show. A lot of people actually said that she played the best game. Well, I think she actually played a very good game. She played a game that actually shielded her from the prying eyes and suspicions of the other players. She was very quiet. She was never really presumptuous. She did not really put herself out there. She tried as much as possible not to be the center of attention or the center of attraction for anything. Obviously, all the players actually lied about their professions, right? She also lied, but she was actually the baddest liar ever. You know, she has this innocent face, this face of the virgin, the victim. Oh my God, I didn't do anything, right? You know, but she was the most dangerous player. She harnessed her social skills. She actually had very good social skills because she was able to form alliances and friendships earlier on in the game. Yes. And because of how innocent she looked and carried herself, she was able to convince her two closest friends, Sam and Corey, that she could never lie to them, she could never betray them, that she could never betray their trust. And ladies and gentlemen, she actually did on several occasions. She stabbed them in the back and she lied to their face. And because they were so focused on the other louder people in the room, they did not smell the rat around them. They did not see that the one person that they trusted the most in the house was actually the best and most dangerous liar amongst all of them. Yes. So I think that's what qualified people to say that she actually played the best game. Yes. Well, I wouldn't really call it the best game, but yeah, she won. So let's call it the best game. Yeah. So massive congratulations to Kara. Now on to Sam. Oh, I did not tell you. Sydney's profession is she's a medical sales rep. Kara, she's an in and out cook. Sam is a police officer, a mom and a police officer. And ladies and gentlemen, Sam was actually one of my favorite players on the show. She is so good. Oh, by the way, Kara had the best and most active intuition amongst all of them. But Sam's intuition, oh my goodness. Sam could literally sniff out a rat, yes. But then, because she was very good friends with Kara, she trusted Kara so much. Kara literally betrayed her over and over again and lied to her face. And she did not even see it coming. And she was so shocked at the end of the season when Kara took that money. Guys, I don't want to give you everything. You just have to go onto Netflix and watch it all for yourself, all right? But Sam, in my opinion, was one of the best players of the season, all right? Now, there was also Corey. Ladies and gentlemen, Corey was very annoying. Corey was the most annoying. Corey was always loud and wrong. Always loud and wrong. This guy was so gullible. As a matter of fact, the most gullible player amongst all 12 of them. Corey was always guessing the wrong people as the millionaires, and he always got it wrong. And the guy was just too sensitive in the sense that the millionaire would be giving certain signs, certain odd behavior, but Corey wouldn't see it. Instead, he would be looking at the people that were more argumentative, the people that were more outspoken, that were louder than the others. He was always looking at the loud people. And I'm like, dude, get some sense. The loudest barrel does not always equate the barrel that contains the most content. You always miss the mark. I'm like, guys, Corey was really annoying. And to be quite frank with you all, as much as it was really annoying, I felt really bad for him when every time he got it wrong. He got his guessing game wrong. His intuition was never at play. And I really felt bad for him when Kara played him at the end and took that money. He fell for every single trap that everybody around him set. And the way he even made it to the finals, I didn't even know how he did it, but he tried. He made it to the finals via his alliances with Kara and Sam. But then, finding out that Kara actually played him and lied to him and deceived him, that guy cried. And I felt sorry for him. Now, moving on to Kyle. Kyle is a construction worker by profession, also, probably in the same line of work as Corey. Kyle, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very frank with all of you. Kyle did not really stand out to me. Yeah, he did not really stand out to me. As a matter of fact, I felt like he was more of a follower in the house, right? He kind of relied heavily on Chris, who is another player. Chris has the power of influence and is very persuasive, but the guy was also very annoying. I don't know why. He was also very annoying, yeah. And he actually had a very good game. He was very good at getting people to flow with his line of thought and do what he wanted them to do in terms of also voting, right? It almost seemed as if a lot of people in the house depended on his judgment, on his opinion, before they were able to vote people, during elimination dinner. But anyways, that was Kyle for me. Yeah, the guy did not really stand out. He wasn't really doing anything special. Yeah. Now, Jamie, female, she is a life coach by profession, but a lot of people did not really believe her in the house, especially Lydia. Why? Because Jamie was very loud. She was very loud. And I'm going to be frank with all of you. Jamie kind of pissed me off a lot because she came with this stereotypical Black American female personality. There's this stereotype about Black American females. They are very loud. They always like to gesticulate a lot when they talk, ducking the neck, that kind of stereotype. She actually came with that. And she was really very loud. And there were a lot of times that her actions were quite understandable, but because she was surrounded by mostly whites, it kind of felt like she was targeted a lot because she was actually loud. When I say loud, I mean very outspoken, very vocal, very audacious. She and Sydney were actually very good friends, and a lot of people did not like her also because she was friends with Sydney. And not like it actually mattered, but I just wished she had not played into that stereotypical Black American female behavior, because people felt like you cannot be a life coach and be this loud. It almost felt like a crime. So that kind of really messed up her game. Yes, she actually survived up to top 6, I think, but yeah, it really messed up her game. Really messed up her game. Now, on to Chris. I talked about Chris. Chris is a beverage brand CEO. I already talked about him. And then we had Lydia. Oh my goodness. Lydia is a retired escrow agent, but according to her, she is a professional poker player. You know that thing they say about poker face? Lydia had it. Lydia was the grandma of the house. Lydia was vicious. Lydia was that one person that was non-sentimental. She was never in her feelings. She was, okay, I think on one occasion she was in her feelings, hence the reason she had this annoying beef with Jamie, and so when she was leaving, when she was eliminated, she had terrible things to say to Jamie, which was really annoying, yeah. But I respected Lydia's game. Lydia was that one person who did not actually give an F. She was very aware that they were all playing a game and nobody could be trusted. Everybody's a liar. Everybody's a deceiver. Everybody's a manipulator. She was awake. As the grandma, she had it up to here, from the tip of her hair to the soles of her feet. She was in game mode. Yes, never for once did she falter. And she was also very good at talking people, let's just say recruiting people against people. So she recruited people against Sydney, recruited people against Jamie, taking away attention from herself. She was badass, yes. And her elimination kind of pained me, yeah. I didn't want her to win the money, but I kind of wanted to see her in the finals. But anyways, that's Lydia for you. That was Phil. Phil is a college professor, Black American or Black British, don't know which one. And yeah, Phil kind of rubbed off the wrong way on me. I did not really like his game. He did not really make it for me. Like, he did not really cut it for me. Yeah, it didn't really stood out for me. So yeah. And then Lauren is a stay-at-home mom, but also a badass gamer. She was the first millionaire of the season, and she executed all of her what do they call that thing now? Agendas. She executed all of her agendas to perfection, and Sam almost caught her, but then sadly she was able to manipulate everybody, with this I'm a mom, what do you expect? And then at some point her entitlement mentality was really disgusting to watch. Hence the reason Jamie called her out, which she rightfully did, and I was so glad that Jamie called her out on her bullshit, because she was sounding so entitled, like, oh, because I was a millionaire and I let you all know, you guys should give me some grace. And guys, it was so annoying that Lydia was attacking Jamie for calling out Lauren's bullshit. Yeah. But guys, just watch the show for yourself, all right? Watch it for yourself. Now, Harry was the first to be eliminated from the show. That guy could have easily won the show hands down, because according to him, he is a professional photographer, and his line of photography is all about nature. I think nature and still objects a lot. I think nature mostly, which means that he is very observant. He knows how to watch for movement and body language and everything an observer would want to watch out for. So he could have easily won the show hands down, but sadly, he was the first person to give off odd behavior by making that annoying suggestion that, oh, where he's from, they hold hands to pray before they eat. And automatically, everybody just spotted that. I think it was it Lydia that cited it? Lydia that cited him that, nah, that is odd behavior. And that was how they eliminated him very easily. Even though he wasn't the millionaire. He wasn't. It was Lauren. And Sam was trying to convince people that it was actually Lauren. But Sam already gave herself away by trying to manipulate people with some fake tears that Corey was able to see through, Sydney was able to see through as well, Phil was able to see through. So, guys, oh my God. Odd behavior. How do you just start crying? You're like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted. Like, nobody cares because it's a game of lies and manipulation. Everybody knows that. Everybody is lying, So, yeah, as I said, Harry was an amazing gamer, but sadly, his game was short-lived. And then finally, Sejong. Ladies and gentlemen, Sejong was just plain annoying. Very annoying, very emotional, very sensitive. And to be honest, I think she was the first and only person that was eliminated that made me jump for joy because I just could not stand her. I just needed her to get out of the game. Yeah. So that is that for the players. Next, moving on. I just realized that this video has gotten really lengthy. I did not intend for this video to be this lengthy at all. All right. So I'm going to close this video with this final point. The perks about the show. Yes, I call it the perks about the show because I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I thoroughly enjoyed this $1 million secret show. I thoroughly enjoyed how the players played the game. I thoroughly enjoyed how I was mentally stimulated. Yes, that's one of the perks about the show. It is very mentally stimulating. And I just could not help comparing the show to Big Brother Naija that I have been reviewing for the past, is it 7 years or 6 years? Can't really remember. Can't keep count at this point. But, I just could not help comparing the two shows. Now, the two shows are not the same. Let's not get it twisted. They are not the same. BB Naija is 100% a social experiment to the core, right? If people played this Big Brother Naija game the way the $1 million secret game was played, trust me, they will not win the show. And the reason is because the Big Brother Naija viewers are very sentimental. They're very, very sentimental, very emotional viewers. A large percentage of the viewers do not use logic when watching the show. They do not use logic to analyze the show. They go according to housemates who make them feel something the most. They vote housemates who they claim to be more relatable to be the winners. And more recently, they give more support to housemates who are able to express intimacy on the show, if you know what I mean. Housemates who, according to them, are able to start up a ship, survive the ship, grow the ship, sustain the ship inside the house and outside the house. Those are the kind of housemates that actually receive a lot of support on, the Big Brother show. And so it makes the show very mentally draining, mentally and emotionally draining. Yeah, and also in a way, kind of financially draining because a lot of people actually invest a lot of money in voting for these housemates, however way they vote. Emphasis on however way they vote. Yes, they invest a lot of money. So it gets mentally and emotionally draining. Most of all, financially, that's just like later. But more importantly, it makes Big Brother Naija very much emotionally and mentally draining. But you see this $1 million secret game show, oh my goodness, very, very mentally stimulating. It made me think about my social skills. It made me think about life skills. It made me think about the power of persuasion, the power of influence. It made me think about, the advantages and disadvantages of wanting to be the loudest person in the room. It made me think about, the perks of being the underdog sometimes and sometimes not necessarily being the underdog. It made me think about the power of building connections and friendships, relationships, right? I don't want to give you guys too many examples because it might take away the thrill of watching the show for yourself. But trust me, You totally need to watch it, especially if you're a lover of the Big Brother show, right? And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna stop talking, because if I just continue talking, I just might just give you verbatim everything, that happened on the show. But the good news is that there's gonna be a second season, and I cannot wait for the new season to drop, because I'm definitely gonna be the first to watch it. All right, but yeah, this is where I stop talking right now. I would love to hear your thoughts about the show. Go ahead, watch it on Netflix, and make sure you drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And that is all for this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic time out. Bye.